Everybody, thank you very much for joining us once again. My name is CJ Rosenbaum. I'm the founding attorney of Rosenbaum Familaro. We are the law firm behind Amazon Seller's Lawyer, and me and a group of almost 20 people do nothing but focus on the needs of Amazon sellers. I want to start. I put my phone number right there on the screen because unlike Amazon, if you need to talk to somebody, you can call us and you can reach us. You can speak with me. You can speak with my partner. You can speak with Gary Ward, another attorney with us, or our team. And we're here to not only help you get yourselves back on, but if you need us to write your plans of action, if you need us to handle your IP complaints or to protect your brand, if you're a private label seller, you can actually speak to college-educated Americans here in New York. You can speak to the lawyers, and we're happy to talk to you. We're happy to help sellers and pay what we've learned and pay it forward and help you out. Now, today's breaking news, I'm going to really split it up in a way that mimics our practice. Now, half of our practice has nothing to do with the law. It's writing plans of action for Amazon sellers for inauthentic, you sold as new, high ODR rates, bad feedback, all the things that Amazon sellers face every single day. And that's about half of our practice. The other half of the practice has to do with intellectual property law, either defending yourselves from baseless claims, or if you're a private label seller, making sure that your rights are protected and you can get rid of hijackers and protect what you have built. We also learn a tremendous amount for both sides of the practice, the non-legal and the legal, by representing sellers in arbitrations against Amazon. On some months, there might be 2 or 3 different arbitrations where we actually get to cross-examine the people looking at your invoices. So we learn a lot, and I'm not allowed to give you a list of what we know about how they look at your invoices on your inauthentic plans of action, but I have cross-examined the people about what they look for, and it's confidential, but we still have that knowledge and we can help you. So let's talk first about breaking news on plans of action for inauthentic allegations, okay? Nothing to do with the law, but we are really great at helping sellers get reinstated when you're accused of selling inauthentic. Well, the news is that Amazon is paying more and more and more attention to the invoices you're sending in. There's no real rubber stamp anymore where you can send in anything, where you can create your own invoice. They're making more and more phone calls. They are looking at the fonts to make sure that they match. They're looking at the invoices. While they say that you can redact the prices, we don't suggest that you do. Who cares if they know how much you're paying? It's not like they're not using your information for their own R&D anyway. So the goal here is for you to know that if you have an inauthentic on an ASIN or your whole account, before you send your invoices into Amazon, take a really good look. Act as if you're an investigator trying to find holes in the invoices, trying to find a reason to turn them down. Make sure they look real. Now, there are many, many invoices that are 100% authentic that you picked up from your distributor, that you got from your sources, and they're real, but there are problems and they look fake, okay? There are also plenty of invoices that are made up that look real. So before you submit anything to Amazon, look at it yourself. Look at it really, really carefully and see if someone else is looking at this and they're trying to poke holes in it. Can they do that? Is the website, if you go to the website, is it real? Is there really a website for this distributor? Do the phone numbers work? Because Amazon now is also more and more and more actually calling your distributors. So when you're sourcing your products, make sure that they get a call, they're going to take that call. Or you may want to shop elsewhere for your distributors. So that's the news. Amazon's review of your invoices is like through the roof, okay? They're really looking at it really carefully. I think it's part of this overlying thing to get rid of 3P sellers and focus more and more on the brands, even though you are the reason that Mr. Bezos is so wealthy. So look at your invoices before you send them in, and then couple them with a really persuasive and really concise plan of action. If you need help doing it, we do it day in and day out. The whole team in the room to my left does nothing but write plan of actions. All college-educated Americans in our suburban New York office write plans of action every day. And if you are considering hiring somebody else to do your plan of action, Google their address. See if their office is really an office. See if their suite number is really a suite number and not just a mailbox. A lot of the consulting companies farm things out when the person you think you're hiring can't do it themselves. If you hire us, everything goes through our office here in Long Beach, New York. Okay, second aspect of breaking news. There was an article out the other day about pre-suspension plans of action. We have not seen them yet, but we anticipate them rolling in before the weekend or early next week. If you get a notice from Amazon that they want something from you, they want a plan of action before your ASIN is suspended, they want a plan of action before your account goes down, you should treat it the same way you would an actual suspension, only you're not sweating bullets and you're not out of business and they're not withholding your money. It's got to be short. It's got to be concise. If you're sending in invoices, it's got to make sure those invoices are absolutely terrific. If you want us to write it for you, we charge the same as the non-lawyers who do this type of stuff. We charge the same as the companies that are farming this out to the Philippines. And a lot of people don't know that. So you can write it yourself. You can look at our videos on how to do it, or you can hire us. But if you're hiring someone else, make sure you know who's writing your plan of action and where it's being written. Google Earth is an amazing tool to check people out. Now, another breaking news, DVD sellers and sellers selling VHS cassettes. For the younger people, these are like giant cassette tapes that we used to use to watch movies at home before streaming and before DVDs existed. Now, we're seeing an uptick in the suspension of sellers selling DVDs and VHS cassettes under this inappropriate content, guys. Number one, inappropriate content, what we've seen is either soft porn, which generally doesn't have anything worse than what Amazon's streaming every day anyway, or it's pre-1970 material before things were rated, or they're tapes coming out of Europe, which also doesn't have the same ratings as we do in the US. Now, if you have that, you need to draft a really good, concise plan of action that addresses why the information, why the scenes are not inappropriate, that it's not pornography, that it's artistic, it tells a story. These are things that were shown in movies, and you need to show that they are appropriate. Now, we don't know whether the uptick is because Amazon streaming is taking off. We don't know whether it's taking off because Apple now has on Apple TV Amazon streaming, and we know that Amazon was relentless against sellers when it came to Apple complaints with lightning cables and the cubes. We also don't know if it's because Amazon is now investing millions of dollars in their own TV and movie studios. But all we know is what's in front of us and how to get you back online. So if you're a DVD seller or a VHS seller and your ASIN is down or your account is down because they're accusing you of inappropriate conduct or inappropriate material in those movies, you need to watch the films. You need to write a plan of action that shows there's nothing inappropriate in those films. Now, another breaking news, we're seeing also an uptick in related account suspensions, particularly if you are buying businesses that include an Amazon component to it. Now, there are some really, really great business brokers out there. I think Empire Flippers is number one if you're looking to purchase an ongoing business. They sell businesses that have Amazon components, that don't have Amazon components, and they're just really great, straight business people, Empire Flippers. What you need to do, if you have an ongoing Amazon account or an ongoing Amazon business, or you already have multiple Amazon accounts, that new business that you buy, that new business that you take over, you have to be just as careful with that account as you would if you opened up another account on your own. Separate computers, separate phones, separate IP addresses, separate banks, separate entities. Make sure none of your staff log in from home. You don't log in from home. You have to be religiously careful not to get caught by Amazon. You have to be careful with your Facebook. We think they're scraping data from Facebook and friends and family on other issues. So if you buy a business, okay, one, go through Empire Flippers. And number two, you have to be religiously careful about protecting yourself from getting tagged as having related accounts. We've been successful at getting sellers back on even after being dinged with related accounts, but it's not easy, takes a lot of work. And you just need to be careful. You need to know this is another growing area of suspensions. Okay, the last issue when it comes to non-legal plans of action is seasonal lights and UL certificates. If you're selling Christmas lights, you're selling holiday lights and decorations, make sure you have real UL certificates. Amazon knows what they look like, and they're going to know if you change them. So it's better not to sell products where you don't have genuine certificates, rather than sell some products with real certificates and some products without. I think the days of mixing up inventory with genuine products with not genuine and then hoping it all gets lost in the wash and you do okay, I think those days are over, and it's very short-sighted because we're seeing more and more and more where you get caught, even though some of your products are legitimate and you're mixing in some non-legitimate products. So again, we are here to help sellers. So I don't care if you're selling counterfeit as well as real products. My goal is to keep you in business, and I'm just giving you the breaking news that this is a growing source of suspensions, okay? So that is the breaking news when it comes to the non-legal aspect of what we do and what we see every day. And now I want to talk to you a bit about the legal issues that we handle also every day. Roughly half of our practice is legal and half is non-legal. So baseless copyright complaints, okay? Copyright complaints, unlike patent and trademark, are actually governed under United States federal law, the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. If you have received baseless copyright complaints, okay, don't be fearful of using the law. If the brand refuses to withdraw their baseless complaint, and a lot of the small to medium-sized brands are refusing to do it, and they keep reasserting baseless complaints, you can serve what's called a counter notice. And that small to medium-sized brand, or even a large brand, will then be faced with a choice. They will either have to take you to court and actually file a lawsuit. They don't do that with 10 to 14 days. You're not filing if you're 100% certain, or you're fairly certain they're not actually going to take you to court and harm their own brand by asserting baseless lawsuits and suing sellers, then you may not want to fear filing a counter notice. We can write it for you. It doesn't cost a tremendous amount of money. And if they don't sue you within 10 to 14 days, you are back in business. That is the law. Okay? Now, IP complaints, intellectual property complaints, or rights owner complaints, we're seeing a growth in the patent complaints that are not resulting in suspensions. Now, it's our advice that whatever complaints you get, you should address right away and try and get those complaints withdrawn, either by amicably reaching out to the one who asserted the complaint or through a counter notice. But we're seeing patent complaints used to result in like an automatic suspension of at least the ACE and if not the whole account. And we're seeing a growing number of complaints that are coming in where you're not being suspended, which is great news for sellers, not so great for the patent holders. We're also seeing it for copyright and trademark where complaints are being made. And I'm not sure if the brands are not doing it properly, because we have great success when we represent private label sellers. But there's a growing number of complaints that are not resulting in suspension. So if you have one of these, while it's not an emergency, we think you should absolutely try those complaints withdrawn, because you never know when the suspension is going to come, or if it's one more complaint and then you're going to lose your account. But we are seeing a greater number of complaints that are being unsuccessful, even in Amazon's lackadaisical system, where they used to basically knock everybody out on every single complaint. Now, Babyfoot. If Babyfoot has made a complaint against you, please call us, okay? Babyfoot has Babyfoot staff admitted to a member of our team, to a third-year law student who's going to be joining us as an associate attorney, that they are just abusing Amazon's system. And even though they know their IP complaints are totally baseless, and I'm cleaning up my language for you, that they're going to keep reasserting them anyway. So we've actually put together an affidavit. We had this third-year law student, this new lawyer that's going to be joining us in May when he graduates law school as an attorney, put together an affidavit, and we want to go after him with everything that you have. So if you have any problems with Babyfoot, please, there's our phone number. Give us a call. We want to come after them with cannons blazing because of what they've done to sellers. Now, also, I want to give you an update. We're just about wrapping up the news. Today at 2 o'clock, how to handle hijackers. And this is vital to private label sellers. Absolutely vital. You spend your time, you spend your money, you spend your effort building up a brand or a product or developing a product and having it manufactured in China or someplace else in the world. You're doing well. And also you have hijackers, including Amazon. We're going to be talking about real life ways with a seller, with myself, with Chad Rubin, on what you can do to get rid of those hijackers. And that's at 2 o'clock. It's being hosted by Chad Rubin of Scubana. If you look on Facebook, you'll see the announcement. You'll see the link. 2 o'clock. I think you need to register first. Register, please. attend this webinar if you are private label or you just want to learn more about hijackers. Also, I've been talking about this charity, the Ty Lewis Campbell Foundation. Please, you don't only sell on Amazon, you buy on Amazon. It is a clearly love-hate relationship. You love the money that you make. You love they deliver stuff like the next day. You hate it when they cause you stress. When you buy, when you are a purchaser, go through Amazon Smiles and pick the Ty Lewis Campbell Foundation. They do nothing but raise money for pediatric cancer to try and find better treatments and to find a cure from this awful disease that just robs children of their lives, causes tremendous amounts of damage, even when the children survive. So please, Amazon Smiles and pick the Ty Lewis Campbell Foundation. Also, this is our book. I think when it goes on the video, you're seeing it backwards. I'll put it a little bit closer. This book is written by me and my team here, and it includes the latest information on how to avoid suspensions, both ASIN and your account, and also how to get your accounts back on your own if you are suspended. There's a couple other books out there that are a lot of fluff and they're outdated. If you want the latest information on how to get your accounts back, read our book, Your Guide to Amazon Suspensions. It's under my name. You can buy it on Amazon through their Create Space program, or the first 50 people that send me their email address and their physical address, we're going to go ahead and send you free copies because I've got books sitting on my shelf. So Amazon suspensions, if you want to avoid them, if you want to learn more about how to handle them yourself, send me your email, private message me, and send me a physical address, and I will go ahead and send you out. The first 50 people that contact us, 100% free books. They'll go out in the mail the next day or so. So last thing, Amazon sellers events that are coming up that I'm speaking at that I think are just fantastic shows. Prosper. Prosper is probably the #1 domestic event for advanced sellers. It's in Vegas. It's in March. It is a phenomenal event. Great speakers, great vendors, different tracks depending on what your interests are or what your businesses are. Also in Vegas, just about the same time, Just One Dime for beginning sellers or intermediate sellers. It's also in Vegas, also at the same time that ASD is in Vegas. Fantastic event, incredibly inspirational speakers. Seth Knipe is just an incredible guy, and everyone's going to be educational and inspirational. If you are getting into Australia, if you're getting into that marketplace, it's a huge, huge market. It's all English speaking. Then Retail Global in Australia is you can't miss it if you want to do well in Australia. Global Sources in Hong Kong in April is fantastic. Other than the domestic events, I think that it is the #1 show outside the United States. It also coincides with their sourcing festival in the same facility, and also the Canton Fair in China. So Prosper in Vegas, Just One Dime in Vegas, Retail Global in Australia, and Global Sources in Hong Kong. Just awesome, great events for inspiration and education on how you can sell and how you can make more money both domestically and also expanding internationally. I've got a couple of comments here. I want to thank Aaron. Thank you so much for your comment. I appreciate that you guys like the videos. Please share them. Then it goes out to all your Facebook friends. And I send out announcements. And if you think this information is useful, join me 2 p.m. with Chad Rubin and another seller for a webinar today. It's free. You just got to register and you'll see the link online. Thank you very much for joining us. If you have any questions, email me and also send me your physical address. First 50 people that email me, you're going to get a free copy of our book. And keep on selling. I hope you have a great Christmas season. Thank you.